guys, give me a few seconds. I'm gonna do the audio thingy on my laptop and then we can get started, okay? Hold on, let's do this. What's up everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel / my podcast. I am the Marketing Nomad. My name is Prithvi Madhukar. I'm the author of 0 to 4 Figures and Self-Loved. I'm also a digital entrepreneur and business owner. A few of the roles that I do take on, I'm a podcaster, YouTuber, Etsy shop owner, and Skillshare teacher as well. All of the links are in the description box below if you would like to check it out. Welcome to episode 175 of Ask TMN, where we are going to be talking about how to create a 90-day social media plan for your business. Now, if you're new here and you're wondering, well, what's this Ask TMN that she just spoke about? Hold on, I've got you covered. So Ask TMN is a series where I actually answer questions that solopreneurs may have about marketing, business, as well as mindset. If that sounds interesting to you, or if it sounds like an area that you would like to get to know more about, definitely do hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you do have any questions for me to answer in my episodes, also do leave your comments in the comment section below. Alrighty guys, let's get into how to create a 90-day social media plan. Now this podcast is actually going to go very fast because, well, in comparison to the rest of my podcasts, because I just have 3 very simple steps just for you to create a 90-day social media plan. Without further ado, let's get into step number 1 for you. So step number 1, as it is with every single plan, is to figure out your goals and your objectives. Now, your goals are definitely going to be a little bit more broad. They're going to give you a sense of direction with respect to your social media plan. Whereas your objectives, they're going to be specific, they're going to be measurable, they're going to be time-bound actions, or even steps for that matter, that contribute to the achievement of that particular goal you have for that social media platform. So of course, if you're running a business, if you are a solopreneur, you probably have 1 or 2 social media platforms that you're at. And if you have a slightly bigger business, maybe a couple more social media platforms have added to the mix. So what I want you to do for this particular step is to list out every single social media platform that you wish to be on or that you already are on, all right? So list out, just take a piece of paper, list out all of the social media platforms. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to assign one goal, just one goal for every single social media platform that you plan to be on. Now, if you are a solopreneur, my pro tip for you at this point would be to stick to maybe 2 or maximum 3, all right? If you're a one-man show, I guess I would say, or one-woman show, however you want to take it, what I do want to say is not more than 2 or 3 platforms. The reason is, especially when it comes to social media, you want to be able to put in high-quality content on each of those platforms that you are on. Not just that, you want to make sure that each of these social media platforms are cohesive. They actually merge together to give an overarching image of your brand, all right? And so to make sure that you are staying consistent on all of these platforms, it's very important that you stick to what you can handle. A question that I usually get asked is, well, how many platforms am I supposed to be on? What is the magic number? Frankly, there is no magic number, but what I do say is be on as many platforms as you can, as long as you can manage quality content on all of them and have a very reasonable frequency on those platforms as well. Okay, so it's depending on your capabilities, but I would not recommend for like a one-person show. I would not recommend more than 2 or 3 platforms for your business when you are starting out. As you stabilize each of these platforms, then it's possible that you can look into widening your team and hopping on other platforms as well. All right, so that's just a little bit of a pro tip from me based on my knowledge, my experience, and what I have seen with my clients as well. All right, so we were talking about making a list of all of the social media platforms you're at. Okay, so just take a pen and paper, list down all the platforms that you wish to be at. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to assign one unique goal to each of these social media platforms. Now, this is where I actually see the gap, even when I'm talking to potential clients or when I'm looking at other people's social media platforms, other solopreneurs' social media platforms. The thing what generally happens is oftentimes people tend to put one goal for all platforms. But the thing is, each platform is unique. Each platform has a separate target audience. Each platform has target audience with a very different mindset or even different way of consuming content. All right. So especially when it comes to that, it helps if you have individual goals for each of the social media platforms that you're at. That way, if you're at least on maybe 2 or 3 platforms, you're hitting 2 or 3 goals for your business. And these goals can be anything. They could be brand awareness, they could be lead generation, they could be list building, they could be helping you make more sales, so on and so forth. But make sure that every single social media platform that you are on has at least one goal assigned to it. All right. And it should help you with your overall business, not just with your marketing strategy. So now that you've assigned one particular goal for each of the platforms that you're at, you are going to go through the next step, which is to figure out your objectives. You're going to give actionable steps to reach that particular goal for those 90 days. All right. It's as simple as that. So for example, for maybe Instagram, all right, your thought process or your goal for that particular 90 days is lead generation. You want to get as many leads as possible. All right, so maybe in your objective, okay, your objective could be to have at least 500 people signing up for your lead magnet, okay? So that would be a very SMART objective, SMART, all right? So when you have a SMART objective, it just helps you that much more easier to achieve whatever goal that you do have. So make sure that it is an SMART objective right over there. Give yourself definitive numbers when you are adding objectives. So the way that I personally do this, and I'm trying to make it as visual as possible for you to implement. So you would have a piece of paper, just draw 3 different columns, okay? The first column will be your social media platforms. The next column will be your goal for that particular social media platform. And then in the third column, you can just write what is your objective for that particular social media platform. All right. So basically, when you are thinking of goals and objectives, one question that I like to ask myself is, what's the lack? Okay, that is how you set goals. And this is not just restricted to social media platforms. This can also be extrapolated to even a business plan as well. Okay, so what is the lack? And an alternative question that you can ask yourself is, well, where do you want to get to? Okay, where do you see that platform getting to? How do you see it helping you? And so if your objectives can contribute to whatever it is that is lacking right now in your social media platforms, and or it contributes to wherever it is that you want that platform to be for your business, then I would say that's a pretty solid goal that you have right over there. All right. So I know that sometimes people ask me, well, how do I even know what's the goal? Very, very simply put, okay, don't overcomplicate it. Very simply put, goal, it's just whatever it is that you're lacking. And if, for example, you're just starting out, so, well, everything's lacking when you're just starting out. That's just a joke, okay? But when you're starting out, of course, everything's lacking, right? Because you're at like step 0. So in that case, then the alternative question that you would ask yourself is, well, where do I want to take this? Where do I need to be with respect to the social media platform so that it can help my business? All right. So that is step number 1 for you. You figure out your objectives, you figure out your goals, and also make sure that you are not, I guess, being on more platforms than you can handle. I totally understand, especially as a solopreneur. I feel like we have this need to be on all platforms, and you know, it's that fear of missing out. But I gotta tell you, the number, there's no magic number, but as long as you can keep creating quality content at a reasonable frequency, yeah, until you reach that threshold, those are the number of platforms that you can personally handle for your business, all right? And of course, as you grow, as you build your team, so on and so forth, yeah, naturally that also will increase, okay? So that is step number 1 for you. Step number 2 is research, and a lot of research, okay? Especially when it comes to marketing, like a huge chunk of marketing lies in research. And I personally love it. I'm a marketer. I love it. That's the part that I enjoy the most. So it's more about understanding what exactly is the mindset of your audience on that particular platform, all right? So in the chart that you've done, you've had your first column as your social media platform, you've had your second column as your goal, your third column is your objective. I would also add in a fourth column where you put in what exactly is the mindset of your audience at that point in time. Are they ready to, are they, nurtured enough that they just need that little bit of push to make a sale? Or are they just getting to know who you are? Maybe that platform is aimed towards brand awareness. So if that's the case, then the audience that is going to be coming on that platform will just be seeing you from maybe the first or the second time. So they're still getting to know you. They're still trying to understand who you are. They're still trying to get to, try to kind of find an equation that works for the two of you right over there. So understanding what exactly is the mindset of your audience on those platforms is very, very, very crucial when you are determining a social media plan, because that ties into the content that you are going to be strategizing in the next step. All right, so understand what is the mindset of your audience. What are they, where are they in the cycle? Are they just beginning to get to know you? Are they a little bit aware of who you are and maybe it's just you and 2 other competitors that they're looking into? Or are they very, very determined and they're absolutely sure they want to go for you, like your business, but at the same time, they're just a little bit hesitant and need that extra push. So figure out where they are at in this timeline, and that is how you will understand what kind of content you have to cater to them, what exactly needs to go on your social media so that you can nurture them to either make the sale or help them with whatever it is that you have for the goal of that social media platform, all right? So another thing that you have to do in your research is, especially with social media, there's so many trends. There's probably a trend almost every other week, right? So figure out what are those trends and how you can hop onto them, or if they even align with your business. Sometimes they don't, that's okay, let it go, all right? So for me, the way that I see it is understand what exactly has been working up until now with your content and what's not working. That's also part of your research. And another way that I can see you going about this, and I've done this before, is you can put it on your stories, say, I'm doing a little bit of research. Can you tell me what kind of content are you looking for? You can, in my experience, okay, people might not be that willing to answer an open-ended question, but they're more willing to answer a multiple choice question. This is just a tiny pro tip that I do have for you when you are using your stories, because in that moment when you suddenly ask a question, well, nothing's going to come to their mind. I mean, imagine if you were there, you'd really want to help. It's not that you don't want to help, but in that moment, of course, I feel like this is kind of life as well, when you just want something, like you want an answer for something, but of course, at that moment in time, you're going to forget the word, you're going to forget whatever it is that you had been, keeping in your mind to remember at the right moment. Yeah, it's happened so many times with me, and let me know in the comments if that's happened with you as well. But getting back to the topic, so ask multiple choice questions rather than open-ended. You can ask open-ended, but once you've built that rapport with your audience, and I think at that point it gets a little bit easier. But when you're starting out, that's a little bit hard because they themselves sometimes might not even know what they are expecting from you or what they want from you. So asking multiple choice questions helps to just narrow the options in their mind, and they can tell you, A or B, so on and so forth, all right? So understand what's working with your current content, understand what's not. Take a look at your competition's content, what's working for them, what's not working for them. Is there something that they're not doing that you can actually do that your audience wants you to do? So many different ways that you can go about it. Take significant amount of time to do your research, okay? That's very, very important, all right? So that is step number 2 for you. Then we get to step number 3, which is strategy and implementation. So at this point, you've understood what exactly is the mindset of your audience. You know how they're thinking, and at this point of understanding how they're thinking, you would also know where's the gap, what is it that they need from you so that you can fulfill the objective/goal for that social media platform. And let's actually take an example of lead gen. So for example, you wanted to have maybe 50 people sign up for your lead magnet for that particular 90-day period. All right, so that is your objective. Your goal was you wanted lead generation for that particular platform, let's say Instagram, and then your objective is, all right, well, I wanted 50 people to sign up for the lead magnet in this 90-day span. So when it comes to strategy, it's about, first you've got to create a lead magnet, and a lead magnet that aligns with what your business is about or what your products and services are about. A lead magnet that actually indicates your consumers' interest in your products and services, because let me tell you, I've seen a couple of lead magnets out there. It's got absolutely no connection with what their products or services are. So people who sign up for those lead magnets are naturally not going to be interested in their products and services. So they may hit the mark, they may have a lot of people downloading those lead magnets because those are very popular topics that people want or popular information that people want. But those leads that you're getting, well, they won't actually be leads because it's not going to be leading to any sale, right? So I just want to say that make sure whatever lead magnet that you are putting out there actually aligns with what your product or service is about. It has to be like step 0 of buying your products and services, all right? If you want a video on lead magnets, definitely let me know in the comment section and I'll get working on it. All right, anyway, now understand where the gap is right now between where you are at and where your objective is. Like right now you're at 0 and your objective is 50, right? So how do you bridge that gap? What can you do to get 50? Maybe you have collaborations, with other people, and then you give this free lead magnet to people who are listening to that particular live, or maybe you have like some sort of giveaway, so on and so forth. There's so many different ways that you can go about this. So in this step, in the third step, you're actually going to be figuring out which strategy works for those 90 days. And not just that, you are also going to figure out how you are going to break it down into the weeks that will be present in those 90 days. What are you going to do in week 1? What are you going to do in week 2? So on and so forth, all right? So it's not just about creating the strategy, it's also about implementation. And the best way to go about implementation is to make sure that you are assigning your action items to each week or even each day. Honestly, with the 90-day social media planner, what I would say is it's helpful if you can go, all right, these are my deliverables for the week, but this is my deliverable for day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7. All right. So it just helps to break it down so that you know exactly what you have to do for that particular day that you're waking up to. I highly recommend this, especially for solopreneurs out there, because if you have a team, yeah, somehow things get done, but when it's you and you're the only person that you have to be accountable for, yeah, there's a little bit of a struggle there, isn't it? So for me, in my experience, let me tell you, tons of times of not being able to implement it properly, what I've come to understand is the trick is to make sure that you are assigning it to the very detail. Like even I'm showing it to you on my camera over here, but this is my planner for my social media, for my YouTube videos specifically. So I have one just for my YouTube videos, and I assign it right down to the date. I don't know if you can see it, but it says 5th of Jan 2023. This is when it's going to release. Like I make sure it is to the point that I assign it to the date that it's supposed to go out. All right. So as long as you keep going into the specifics of when you want that content to be out, trust me when I say it, it actually works. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is my script. Like, all of these things are my script, and that's how I go about it. And so for me, what I've come to understand is it's also important to give yourself time to create that content, to make sure that you are including it in your plan as well. Don't just directly hop, all right, content 1 has to go out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so on and so forth. No, also assign time that it takes to actually create the content. This is where I personally made the mistake when I first started out. Got way too messy, and now it's like, okay, you know what, the previous night for about 30 minutes I am scripting. That's my dedicated scripting time, and I make sure that is in my social media plan. Don't forget that it takes time to create these content, right? So, and editing, and in my case thumbnails, and then making the timestamps, making those slots, like those video what is that, I don't know what you call it, but they're this like you know how I segregate into chapters, and then you have that color screen coming up. I don't know what you call it. We're just gonna scoot past that right now, okay? But even those, like, it takes time to do all of that. So make sure you're including the entire process of that content creation, of that content strategy implementation into your plan. And it doesn't always have to be content strategy. For example, you want to reach out and collaborate with someone, you want to go live on their platform. That too is going to take you time, right? It's going to take you time to reach out to a couple of people out there. It's going to take you time for you to figure out what exactly you'll be talking with them, to outline if they're ready to do it with you, to actually go live, to follow up with the live, to do the marketing for the live before, after, so on and so forth. So it's a huge thing. You have got to put that into your plan. Please don't forget that. That's very, very important, okay? I'm saying this because I've done it before, and you know, I realized, oops, what a blunder I've made, and I have to make sure that I'm including the process as well in my planning, okay? So over here I've written, you know, allocate time for everything. You know, don't just say, oh, I just want to create a content calendar. No, you've got to create everything that goes along with it. So for me, what's been helpful is understanding what are my deliverables. I don't know if I have it in this book, but I actually sat down and wrote somewhere. Okay, I don't have it in this book. It's in my other one, my overall social media planner. So what I did was I actually listed down the steps that it would take for every single strategy to be implemented. Everything, you know, even if it's the tiniest thing of taking a picture for the thumbnail, yeah, even that goes into my steps. So based on the list of task items that I have to do, no matter how small or big, I kind of figure out, all right, well, these set of tasks I can club together, and that's going to take me about 30 to 40 minutes. Or these particular tasks, well, they're a little bit much, and that's going to take me 2 or 3 hours. I'm going to fit that into my schedule, all right? So it helps if you list out what are the to-do or / task items for whatever it is that you're doing, whatever strategy, whatever action item, even one action item. Create a YouTube video that has like 10 different things we do on the back end, right? So make sure that you are taking time to understand what is needed on your end to complete the strategy or to implement the strategy. That's very, very important, okay? Because the more you can understand, the more detail you can get that into, the more likely you are actually going to follow through. And trust me when I say this, especially when it comes to plans, following through is the hardest part. You know, you can plan and plan all you want and get that dopamine hit, but following through is always the challenge. And for me in particular, what I've come to understand is the more I detail out, there's, I guess, an underlying layer where I'm also visualizing it getting done, but not just that. I mean, that could be a little bit on visualization and stuff like that, which it works, let me tell you. But on the more practical and grounded side, when you are listing out these task items, when you are detailing what exactly you have to do, subconsciously you are assigning time to each of them. You're not just saying, oh, plop, YouTube video, no. You know, you are actually saying, okay, well, this is actually, you know, it's gonna take me a day and a half to create this video, and so I got to strategize it accordingly. I can't do YouTube videos every single day because it's going to affect the quality, and second, I don't have enough time for these action items. So, and then that's when you create a frequency that is suitable for you, so on and so forth. So the way that I see it, detailing out your action items for whatever strategy you have, yeah, the more detail you can get into that, yeah, the better it is for you, and the easier it becomes for you to allocate time and also follow through on the plan, okay? It's just so that you don't get frustrated that there's not enough time. You actually are giving yourself the time you need to, you know, make sure that it's quality content or it is top-notch strategy implementation. All right, hold on. We're at the 25-minute mark, and it's just a camera thing. I've got to switch it on and switch it off, or switch it off and then switch it on. Yes, that's that's the correct process. Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm back. So final tips that I do have for you. You've got to constantly take the time to evaluate and refine your strategy. I say this all the time, but it's so important. You can't just put a strategy out there and then dust your fingers and say, bye, I'm out. No, it doesn't work like that. You've got to keep revisiting. You've got to keep analyzing what exactly is your audience thinking. How are they reacting to every piece of content that you're putting out? What is working for them? What is not working for them? And figure out if there's something new that you can bring into the mix, maybe for the next 90-day plan, so on and so forth. So there needs to be constant evaluation as you're going through. But I also do want to say that there should be also a healthy balance of you giving your strategies enough time for the results to show. There's always a little bit of a threshold time over there where you probably won't see the results that you're looking for, and then beyond that threshold point, yeah, things start to shape up. So don't give up, or don't quickly change your strategies before you've hit that threshold point. And of course, that comes with experience. That comes with understanding your market, your industry, your audience a lot better. It comes with that. Okay, so adapt. Make sure that you are taking the time to evaluate, taking the time to refine your strategies as you go. And yeah, so those are the 3 steps for you. I'm going to repeat them again, just do a quick little recap. The first one is where you figure out your objectives, your goals, right? A way to help you is to understand, what exactly is the lack. And if there is no lack, or you don't know where to start, then the question that you could be asking yourself is, where exactly do you want to get to? How is this platform going to help you with your overall business strategy or your overall goals for your business? How can this contribute to that? Okay, so that is number 1 for you. That would be your objectives and your goals. Number 2 is research. What's exactly trending at this moment? What's the mindset of your audience? How are they reacting to different kinds of content or different kinds of strategy? What is it that they need so that they can move towards helping you achieve whatever goal you have for that particular platform? All right. And then number 3, it is strategy and implementation. Figure out what's the gap. And once you figure out what's the gap, create strategies to help you bridge that gap. Don't just create strategies that, don't just have a plan that has strategies. Have a plan that also includes the process of creating those strategies or implementing those strategies. And I guess a pro tip that I'll give you at this point is focus on setting systems so that you can actually do the same thing even after the 90-day period. Okay, so that's something that I've also been it takes time, and I'm gonna say it's a little bit hard, but this is something that I've been actively doing for the last 2 years for my business. Also setting up systems on the side as and when I'm creating that 90-day plan. All right, this is also there. This is the goal that I want to achieve, but I'm going to make sure that I'm setting systems that can help me implement whatever strategies I'm putting out long term. So that's a little bit of a pro tip over there. All right. This was a good one. It's pretty fast, wasn't it? I told you it was. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for listening all the way up until here. If you did like my audio, do give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload a YouTube video. Other than that, if you want to catch my books, my first book is 0 to 4 Figures, Lessons Learned by a Broke CEO. It's got 61 stories and lessons aimed towards different aspects like positive mindset, growth mindset, success mindset, business strategy, marketing, self-love, relationships, etc. It's actually got stories and lessons from the first 3 years of my digital entrepreneurship journey. So if you're someone, you're looking to get into digital entrepreneurship, or you've been in it for quite some time and you want to understand how you can scale, yeah, this book is for you. My second book is called Self-Loved. It is a compilation of 1,000 journal prompts aimed toward healing, growth, and self-discovery. It's got topics covered like inner child healing, trauma healing, anxiety, manifestation, reflections, gratitude, so on and so forth. So if you are someone who is looking to get into journaling, or you are someone who is a seasoned journaler and you're looking for more tips and tricks to help you with your journaling, this book is absolutely for you. Other than that, I also have a separate series. It's called the Simple Series by The Marketing Nomad. It's a productivity series of planners, journals, and trackers. Now you can find all of my stuff on Amazon. The simplest way to find them is to search my name on Amazon. It's Prithvi Madhukar, Prithvi space Madhukar. There's an author page that comes up for me and all of my books just show up, all right? That's pretty much it, I think. If you have any questions about today's podio, the comment section is absolutely open for you. Please do leave your thoughts if you liked this episode. Other than that, if you have any more questions for me, like different aspects of your business that you're struggling with, yes, absolutely. Feel free to, put the question in the comment section below and I'll do my best to get to it. If you want to have more of a one-on-one conversation with me, my Instagram page is available for you. That is at The Marketing Nomad. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening all the way up until here. I'll catch you in my next podio. Bye-bye.